Unpopular truth, back with another video. I wanted to talk about this narrative of people saying that LeBron James didn't have any help. He had a garbage team. His roster wasn't good. They say all that. Let's talk about it. Let's actually not just say it out loud and expect for everybody to believe it. Let's talk about it and go with the stats on what they had, the roster, what they did for. Since he carried them, that's the big narrative. Which he is the superstar. That's his job on the team. But they make it like it's something special that he got to do it. But every other superstar on their teams supposed to be the one with the heavy load on them. But it is what it is. How they do for it. So let's talk about it. So we're not gonna start in the finals. We're gonna start here in the Eastern Conference Finals. So you see here, Eastern Conference Finals, the Cavaliers versus the Pistons. Now the Pistons were a championship team 2 years prior to this. And if you know about the 2004-2005 Pistons, you know they're mainly a defensive team. So defense was their identity. That's what they did. And you will also know that the best defensive player on their team was Ben Wallace. If you know about the 2004-2005 Pistons, he was a athletic rim protector. He can play defense. He can move his feet. He was strong, and he didn't let too many people come to that paint. Right? And the reason I start off with that is when the Cavaliers beat them this year that we have on the screen right now, he wasn't there. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So the narrative has been the whole time like he beat the championship Pistons with their roster that they had. Like the championship Pistons. Not half of them, not their one good player and all the rest of them had left. They was saying it like he beat the 2005 roster Pistons in 2007. But that did not happen because Ben Wallace was gone. They was a defensive team. That is what their identity was. Right? So again, remember when you see these stats on here, Ben Wallace is not on the Pistons. On the contrary, guess where he was? He was with the Cavaliers. Nobody never talk about that, do they? They just always say they beat the 2000 they beat the Pistons in 2005. He had such a great series, all that. Which that in itself is a lie. If we say a great series, now he had one great game, but we're gonna talk about that now. So keep in mind, the best defensive player on the Pistons is gone at this time. We're just gonna keep that in mind. Now, game one. That's Ilgauskas, right? He had 22, 13 rebounds. Guess how many LeBron had? 10 points, shooting 33%. That's game one. So, proof is in the pudding on that game. I don't know. Do I have to really explain that one? Okay. Game two. Vergil had 14 and 14. That is a great game. So he got help from his roster. He's getting help. Game three. 3 Cavaliers with double-digit scoring. So they at least had 10. So you got 3 of them that at least had 10. That's 30 points right there off the bat. Then you got game 4. Boobie Gibson, 21. Gooden, 19. Both with 57% shooting from field goal. Hey, I don't know. So game 5 is the game that LeBron James went crazy. He was going crazy on the Pistons. He had scored 25, I think 25 straight or something like that. It was a great game. Don't get me wrong. That was a great game. Nobody can say nothing bad about that game. He did his thing. But like I said, you got to remember their defensive anchor is gone. I just need y'all to remember that. Okay. Then we got game 6. This is the closeout game. Boobie Gibson, Keisha Cole, old husband, boyfriend, I think they was married one time. He has 31, shooting 85% from the field. Hey, man. What other kind of help do you need at this point? I don't know what type of help people are expecting him to have that nobody else had, right? But 31 points, he had 21. So let's go back from game 4. Boobie Gibson had 21 points and Gooden had 19. Right? Both shooting over 50% from the field. That's good. So he had help. He had help in game 4. Hey. Now Boobie Gibson come back after LeBron James had his great game in game 5. Great game. To close it out, Boobie Gibson go for 31. 85% shooting. LeBron James, 20 points, 20% shooting. I mean, what else do you want? Boobie Gibson did his thing in game 4 and in game 6, right? So stuff is not adding up, right? For him to have a garbage roster, right? But yeah, I'm just asking. What else do you need? They so garbage, right? They such a garbage roster that game 1, Agowski's had 22 and 13 rebounds. Verajai had 14 and 14 rebounds. Game 2. Game 3. 3 Cavaliers players with double-digit scoring. Game 4. Gibson with 21. Gooden with 19. And then the closer, Boobie Gibson with 31 on 85% shooting. Just like I say, LeBron James, 20 points on 20% shooting. So most of his points sound like they came from the free throw line. If he shot 20%, that's crazy. But hey, they won the series, but it wasn't. I'm trying to figure out where this garbageness come from. Again, let's talk basketball. Everybody that know basketball, you have in the NBA, you have a superstar. At this time in the NBA, everybody had the superstar and they had a roster. You might have one other good, decent player on your team, but mostly it was the superstar and the roster. So everybody, all the talent was spread out at this time in the NBA. You really didn't have no big two in the NBA at this time. It was the superstar, and the rest of the team. So this is the same thing that everybody else had. LeBron James had the same type of roster that everybody else had at this point in time. So I don't understand why everybody's trying to make a narrative that his team was just so garbage that they said like the rest of the league had great teams. That's not what was going on at this time. Nobody had a great team until the Celtics put their big three together. Nobody. But I think we done enough on this Eastern Conference Finals. And I think I'm going to stop this video right here. We'll do another one on the finals. So stay tuned for the next one on the finals. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell somebody. Help me out to get my subscribers up. You know, trying to make this channel jump. So I appreciate it if y'all do that for me. Peace.